The Center for Higher Learning Tennessee Tech president claims campus drag show mocks Christianity. At Tennessee Tech, school administrators went up in arms after a recent drag performance, claiming that a performer mocked Christianity by performing a partial striptease to Hosier's Take Me to Church. The show was put on by Upper Cumberland Pride and featured local drag artists and attendees of all ages, which offered conservatives the required fuel. They found it on social media. Tennessee Tech's President Phil Oldham released a statement about the event and canceled 2 upcoming drag events on campus. The statement mentioned that he was offended by disparaging mockery toward any religious group, and the said event was not university sponsored. He continued saying that no university funds were used for the event, which was scheduled and promoted by 2 registered student groups. Although these student organizations have the ability to reserve space on campus, the programming should not be obscene, lewd, or include explicit activities. Continuing the recent activities of conservatives leveling grooming charges against queer people, the outrage came primarily from those who freaked out by the fact that this was an all-ages drag show, as opposed to a 21 and over show. Upper Cumberland Pride clapped back on the backdrop of the attack on the event, explaining that the shows have been an important aspect of Cookeville queer community for years. And, I'd like to point out that Hosier's Take Me to Church has nothing to do about, a positive religion. So, listen to the lyric that,
Right.
The song alone mocks the Christianity. But, I think this is just another example, and again, we hear this grooming word, and it comes out for absolutely no reason. And, it's a trend that is just going crazy.
Well, and what makes this especially egregious is the fact that this is a public university.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You're not required to revere Christianity or any religion whatsoever. In fact, you're entitled to mock it. That's part of getting back to my First
Free
Amendment
speech,
comment earlier. You're allowed to do it. Now, this is a very rural part of East Tennessee. It is up in the mountains. I mean, the only thing redder than their hats is their necks.
Have you been there?
I have. I worked in Knoxville for 2 years.
Okay.
So yeah,
You spoke of it
I know.
so you spoke of it so personally.
Television.
Yeah.
It's like right out of Deliverance. It sounds like.
Once you get out of Knoxville and into the hills,
County.
Yeah, it really is. So, but these comments are very on brand for the region, but it should not be on brand for education. This is a public university. But like the yeshiva, we did a story about the yeshiva Jewish university in New York. Today, Justice Sotomayor, a Democratic appointee, overruled New York and put a stay on forcing the church to admit a gay club. But that's a private religious university.
And a private religious.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm drawing the content.
If there was a private Christian university, they could do those same rules.
And they do.
Well, and they do, absolutely.
And the story right now just says that the president says that this was a mockery, okay? Nobody's gotten in trouble or anything yet. Okay, let's see what happens next week.
But the president coming out making that kind of statement, it makes
banning
is a big step.
Right.
That's action.
Starting to take an
That's action.
Especially since it's student-led, and universities are supposed to have student-led activities.
It's funny that I have to school a president of a modern public university in America. But I have to. We have, as we've all said, but I want to crystallize the point about the First Amendment. The First Amendment is arguably, and many constitutional scholars have written ad nauseum, that one of the greatest documents ever written was the constitutional framers of the Bill of Rights, and specifically the First Amendment. And the reason why it is so critically important is it basically establishes the standards of what life should be based on. And that includes the right to assemble, that includes the right to free press, various other rights. It includes the right
free speech
of religion, but almost universal acceptance is the first is speech. And the reason is because in every moment of our lives, speech is always the first initiation of everything that goes on in our society. And so when the president of a modern public university in the United States would suggest that we're making a mockery of something through drag, he doesn't understand the First Amendment, and therefore doesn't understand the Constitution, and therefore doesn't understand the American democratic experience. And he's so stupid that the other side goes, you are so ignorant, but you have a right to say it. And there's no consequences from it, because that's what America is all about, you moron.
LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Lara are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus community.